Just bear with me just a second. Let me get this set up. Hi. Okay. Okay. Okay, I got all my crystals up here. Hi. Smoke with me. Happy Ramadan. It is Ramadan. It's the time to cleanse and purify ourselves. I'm breaking my fast a little bit early today with a smoke and drink. Nice peppermint tea. I'll put this out now. So I'm here for the Taurus new moon reading. Hey everybody, what's up? So it's pretty exciting. There's a whole lot of change in the air. The winds of change have been blowing in, if you have noticed. And it's pretty exciting. I feel so very ungrounded. I'm an air sign already. And when these winds of change start blowing, I just feel like I'm just in the wind. Like I don't even feel like I'm really part of this earth. High times. Very high times. So what we're seeing here is a shift. A tectonic shift like that of an earthquake. But it's within the self. It's within the consciousness of ourselves individually and us as all people. So these very deep chasms between one thing and another, there's shifting going on there. So this is a case where the earthquake can either like knock something loose and knock something and split it apart from something, or where it can knock it back in place. So it's a very interesting, very precarious time. So let's see what the cards say. Put this guy up here with the other crystals. You can see they're sitting right here. Right there by the phone. So first I'm going to pull a butterfly card. Butterfly oracle cards are for life changes. This deck by Doreen Virtue. So this is just a theme for us to work with. The moon cycles. First we have a new moon, and then 2 weeks later we have a full moon. And then 2 weeks after that we have a new moon. So each new moon cycle is its own month. And this month just happens to be the month of Ramadan, because the Islamic calendar is a lunar calendar. So it goes by monthly instead of the Gregorian calendar, which is a solar calendar that we use in the U.S. So this is talking about a healthcare change. The butterfly cards always give us some true tea that we don't even really want to believe or pay attention to. But if you've been thinking of making a healthcare change, or you've been thinking of making any change for your lifestyle or for your well-being, then it's time to seriously consider that and look at the reasons why you tell yourself no. Take the next step now. Don't wait. What's the point? So that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. Healthcare change. Take the next step now. Oh, and then look at this one. Of course, the sobriety card pops up again. So there we have it. The butterflies have spoken. The butterflies always give us some true tea that we really don't want to believe and we may not really want to accept. But, you know, when we are opening our intuitive channels, we have to be open. We can't be stubborn and stuck in our ways. We have to be open to what we discover. One of the quickest ways to block your intuition and to block yourself from receiving further divine communication is by ignoring the communication that you do get and not implementing it and not putting it into practice. Knowing something but ignoring it because for whatever reason. So for example, for me, this healthcare, for me, I know exactly what these cards are talking about. So if you're watching it, you know, it probably means something different for you. But for me, and maybe for some other people that are watching it, it has to do with sobriety. Sobriety is the reason why this card, you know, this reading came. I was just going to pull one card, but 3 cards wanted to come out. So when you get the messages, you have to listen to them. You know, I've been getting the message for years to quit smoking weed, to stop smoking weed. And it's been a message that I can't ignore. And even when I hear like don't smoke, like why, I'm always fighting against it. But sometimes you don't know why. Like sometimes you don't know why. You have to just do what you're called to do. It is a sign of basically obedience to spirit that you will hear and listen and you will implement so that guidance isn't wasted on you. It's kind of like, you know, why are they going to put the energy into giving you divine messaging if you're not going to listen to it? You know, so sometimes it may be stuff that you don't want to, there may be things that you're asked to get rid of that you don't want to get rid of. There may be things that you're asked to leave behind and you don't want to leave it behind. You know, but as your human self, you're stubbornly clinging to what you know, but your divine guidance is telling you otherwise and pointing you in a different direction. So it's time to take the next step now. Stop playing. Stop bullshitting. Don't play yourself. Take the next step now. Why wait? You know, there's a journey there, and okay, like I'm sure that there's other people that are watching it that really need to see that there's a journey to sobriety that is going to help you and support your soul expansion and provide you a basis from which to grow. When you think about it, to be honest, like oh my god, it's hard to talk about. Ooh, it's a hot topic. It's a really heavy topic. So I'm sensing that there's a lot wrapped up in it for a lot of people watching it, and I don't even think that it's something that I can really address right now, because I want to give it the proper like energy that it needs. So I'm sensing that this is like a huge issue for a lot of people watching this, because I'm becoming tongue-tied. Like I'm having a hard time even expressing myself about it. I want to be sensitive to y'all. You know, I'm very hard on myself when I go through my spiritual detoxing process of like putting myself through these purification and detoxification process. I'm very hard on myself, you know, but it's for a good reason, because like you can't be soft. You cannot be soft, especially not on yourself. You know, if you're hoping to grow and like achieve real expansion and real mastery in this energy field, like you want to push yourself hard. You don't want to give up, you know. You don't, like, there's no point trying to be like everybody else. Like once you're here, you might as well go hard. There's no point trying to be like everybody else, you know. That will bring a lot of sadness, chaos, and dysfunction, and you don't want that. Nobody does. So that's what the butterflies have spoken. That's what the butterflies had to say. Now we're going to see what the Ostara tarot deck has to say. And Ostara is the energy of the vernal equinox. It's nature-based energy of everything coming back to life after the shortest day of the year. the winter equinox, the winter solstice. All right. Okay. This is so funny. They're all reversed. Oh my god. So this is, I feel very personally attacked right now by these cards. I'm just the messenger. I'm just here to deliver the message. So I know some of y'all not gonna like this because I don't even like this. This is a general tarot reading for everybody, all zodiac signs, everybody watching this. But this is especially tailored towards my audience, which is my chosen audience of sex workers who are spiritual and all of that. So this is for you, boo. This is from me to you. From me to me to me to you. Every reading that I do has so much truth in it for me in a lot of ways. That's why I feel it. I feel y'all. So these are all reversed. First is the High Priestess reversed. Ouch. Ooh, it hurts. Ooh. Okay, so I'm just gonna read it straight from the book. Girl, yes. The High Priestess reversed may be an indication that you need to reflect and medicate on your subconscious needs. Perhaps you are not trusting your gut and are putting too much stock in the opinions and validations of others. Oh my God. Furthermore, you may be acting too hastily without asking the right questions first. Sometimes it is best to be passive until the answers reveal themselves. Babe. Go with the flow. This is saying go with the flow. Stop trying to make everything happen. Stop trying to control everything so much. It's the difference between a masculine and feminine energy. Everything is all about the feminine energy right now. This is the direction that we're going into. So to be in touch, in order to manifest effectively, be in touch with your High Priestess power. This is so real. I already knew this. I already told myself before I started filming this, I can't take any appointments for the rest of the night. I just need to work on myself. I need to do energy work on myself. I need to do a bath. I need to spiritually protect and prepare myself. You cannot substitute. There's nothing that you can do to substitute that time. There's nothing that you can do to substitute the time that you take to take care of yourself. There is no substitute for it. Nobody can do it but you. You're the only one that can do your self-care. So ever since yesterday, I've been taking the time. I got this reading I bartered in a group that I'm part of, a session of mine for a session from somebody else. So I got their reading, which was really cool because it's been a while since somebody read me. And it gave me so much to think about. And one of the things was start noticing what you do for self-care and make it a practice. And that's really what you have to do right now. Is the indicator of this card, the High Priestess. We are in our goddess mode. We're manifesting effortlessly. We're just thinking, I want to do this or I want to go there, and then bam, it happens so quickly and so easily, effortlessly. Right now is what a lot of men are struggling with, and people that are more on the masculine orientation, struggling with how to relax, let go with the flow. But a lot of women and feminine people also have this overabundance of masculine energy because we're so used to always having to make things happen for ourselves and, having to provide for ourselves, having to go hard, having to be suspicious, overly clever, having to be in situations where you just have to think way too fast. You have to be way too clever. Obviously, it's not a bad thing to be smart, but your brain, you should have more freedom your brain is calling for more freedom to create right now, and it doesn't want to be occupied by having to think too hard and too quick about what's going on around you. So any time that you can take to self-reflect and, be by yourself is a good thing right now, especially at the new moon. You want to set your intentions. Like, the High Priestess reverse may be an indication that you need to reflect and meditate on your subconscious needs. So what I would do right now is do a tapping exercise, because we know from that reading I'm not taking enough time to meditate and reflect on my subconscious needs. So you would start a tapping exercise by saying, even though I'm not taking the time to reflect and meditate, I deeply and unconditionally love and accept myself. Even though I'm not taking the time to reflect and meditate, I unconditionally love and accept myself. Even though I have not been taking the time to reflect and meditate, I unconditionally love and accept myself. Even though I have not been taking the time to reflect and meditate, I unconditionally love and accept myself. And as you're doing that and you're repeating that mantra, all the reasons why start to come clear to you. And it doesn't matter, because you love and accept yourself either way. Like this, you cannot make this practice about like a competition with yourself or anybody else. The spiritual journey can never reject you. And if you ever feel like I'm not doing it right or I'm not doing it enough, just take the time to let yourself know I love me unconditionally no matter what. Even if I hear the call from my ancestors telling me I need to stop smoking weed, and what they're saying is because if I keep smoking, then I will have cancer, I'll have these adverse conditions, and I don't want that. And a lot of that is like, it's like a throat chakra. It's like shutting down my throat chakra. I know that their reasons are good for wanting me to quit smoking, but I love myself unconditionally whether I smoke or don't smoke. And it's really important to take the time to tell yourself that I love you unconditionally no matter what. No matter what you do. So when you tap it out, you basically just bring the energy all the way through and let it go down. And it's released. So the rest of this reading is also reversed. The next card is the Three of Swords. But this is sometimes I feel like I really like this deck because it's unpredictable. I don't like a lot of interpretations of divination methods where reversed is like, it's really bad. I feel like sometimes that just creates a sense of fear, and I don't like working with that type of feeling. But I like how this deck, you never know, sometimes the reversal signifies something really positive. So with this one, when you have these, where is it? It's the Three of Swords, but it's upside down. So these knives that are stuck in the tree are in the position to loosen and fall out, which is very, it's a very healing indicator of, being able to heal without having to work too hard. The reversed Three of Swords indicates that although you may have suffered greatly in the past, you are mending. While it could also mean that you are having trouble moving past painful memories, this card is often a sign that you are taking the right steps towards healing old wounds. So and acknowledge what you need to do when you're the High Priestess upside down. what you need to do to get right. You're making those steps. You're implementing those methods that you can use for your highest good. And you're letting those old stabbing wounds, you know, even though they may be still haunting you somewhat in the form of painful memories, you're letting those wounds start to, just letting the knives fall out on their own. You know, you don't have to do too much. And then the Five of Swords. Well, this is a warning. This is a warning. I'm going to pull another card after this because I feel like this isn't the end of the story, but this is a warning. The Five of Swords. So it's a snake guarding these swords. You can't grab, like, upright, you can't grab one of these swords without the snake biting you. But upside down is even more dangerous. This card reversed can indicate victory at the cost of behaving unethically. Perhaps you treated someone unkindly in the past. Maybe they were even deserving of it. Moreover, you may be holding on to thoughts of revenge. This card now cautions that you not lose the moral high ground in pursuit of success, for you may find yourself isolated and regretful. So this is basically saying, like, don't jump into a bed of snakes and swords. Retain your innocence. You know, that's a big part of what this reading is telling you is, like, basically it's telling you, like, choose righteousness, like, choose the righteous path in everything you do, you know. And what I'm telling you as the interpreter of the reading is, like, love yourself all the way through it for every part of you, because every part of you is on purpose, and there's nothing bad about you or nothing wrong about you. There's nothing you have to change. Only thing that will elevate your life experience is to get in touch with those divine messages that you're receiving, to make those certain lifestyle modifications and changes that are ultimately going to be in your highest good. There is nothing wrong with that. And so I'm going to sum it up with a card from the Next World Tarot deck. Everybody. Okay, cute. Oh. Alhamdulillah. So we basically have a before and after. The Five of Pentacles before, the Star after. So this is the inner child. This is the healing, the inner child that is indicated for this time. When you're doing those tapping exercises and you're telling yourself, I deeply and unconditionally love and accept myself, you're comforting your inner child. You're letting your inner child know that everything is going to be all right. Because maybe you didn't get that as a child. Maybe you didn't have anybody to tell you that everything is going to be all right, and they're going to love you no matter what, deeply and unconditionally, you know. And we need that foundation in our younger years to help us develop a healthy root chakra, so that we can, like, be grounded and feel stable and build and connect. And when you have dysfunction in the family life, and you're, you know, growing up, your experience, this card shows you the first time that ever happened, that the first time that you felt that way, before you learned to accept it as normal, before it became your normal. This card is showing you the first time that ever happened, and it's bringing that up for you now so that you can heal that wound, and so that you can, like the, where did I put those cards? You can let it loosen up. You can let those knives loosen up and fall out. When you remember what happened and you take inventory of it and you say, check, that happened, like you put that on your list, that gives you, it gives you some way to quantify it, so you can see your way that you heal through it. Like, you need to identify it and say that it's there, so take that time now. Think about, when is the first time that you felt like her? She's sad, like her family is getting evicted from where they stay. They have to go somewhere else. So just take the time to think, when is the first time that you felt that sadness of, like, having to leave something that you knew, or having a part of yourself taken away from you, not being listened to, or not being supported, held emotionally, communicated with, believed. So your interpersonal relationships don't suffer. Take the time to think about what's happened to you and what your reactions are and how you interact with other people, so that your relationships don't suffer. You have these good relationships that you want to protect, and you don't want to be in your your reptilian brain or your monkey mind or whatever that you want to call it, that is like, you don't want to be hyper vigilant in these times. You don't want to be like, how do you say it, like, you want to have your fight or flight reaction deactivated. You want to deactivate your fight or flight response. Fight, flight, or freeze. You want to deactivate that. You want to have your parasympathetic nervous system in control, which has you in a mellow mind. You don't want your sympathetic nervous system. That's when you get activated. So you basically just want to find your sweet spot, and just chill there. And when you feel activated, take note of it and figure out why it is. Then you can deal with it. Once you know what the knife is, you can start to heal that wounds. So then we heal our inner child, like she showed us right there. And we become the star. What up, star? What up? You're the star. Oh, wrong book. So we become the star. And you can see how she's surrounded by the butterflies. So when you see a butterfly, you can take it to be a visitor of somebody that you love. It could be a pet or a person, someone that you love that passed and they're coming to say hi to you, or even somebody that you love in person that you don't get to see. They can come and send their energy and visit you too, which is pretty cool. And everyone can do it. You just have to work with it, master the energy. Oh my gosh, I swear I cannot find this. This is so funny. Here it is, the star. Hi. I'm back. This reading has been very intense for me. I filmed this to like save it and show on my YouTube channel, but I don't know. I feel like it's very personal. Let's go back to this Five of Pentacles. I think we need to talk about her more. Five of Pentacles. We live our lives knowing at least one constant. Constant weather, constant home, constant family, constant location. We work toward maintaining these realities, but sometimes are set back by nebulous powers that encircle destruction, theft, and financial instability. Where do we go from here? The Five of Pentacles is the spirit of a tough kid who lost their home for the first time. She's grounded in her truth, although pained by her struggle. She never got to see her city grow with the things she had always known. She never got to see her cousin repaint the living room or her height chart excel to 4 feet. But she knows this isn't the end, as her soul is armed until the next chapter unfolds. She knows her family works hard, but she asks them to forgive themselves for being dismissed by the system. She asks them to redefine success and to unravel their internal magic, their gifts that money can't buy. The Five of Pentacles confirms a loss but hopes for a solution. So this is resiliency, and this is maintaining your sweetness and your innocence in the face of like not really knowing how you're going to survive, having to weather the storm, and honoring that spirit of the inner child within you that has been doing this for a long time. You know, every time you think you're stuck in a situation, you ain't never stuck. Can you think of all the things that you have been in and out of, and then ask yourself, how could you ever feel that you are stuck? You have unlimited potential, unlimited worth. You are the one. You are the one. If anyone can do the things that you have dreamed for yourself, you're the one that can do it. And she knew all the time, the whole time. You know, so ask her what's real. Ask her who you are. When you get confused or you need to reconnect with yourself, reconnect with her. She knows who you are. You're a star. You're a star, baby. You're a star. Born out of butterflies. The star is the birth of a planet. As the past settles into ashes, dark matter, and our memories, the star is setting an intention. She creates vivid masterpieces unlike anything she has made before. She's constantly reinventing herself, continuously and thoughtfully, moving into adulthood and a divine future ancestor. MashaAllah. The star is a light asking you to connect to the earth without the influence of trauma. The star asks you to search for a reworked goal, a new path, a new commitment, or a personal rebirth with a spirit that carries wisdom from past lives. The star is here to remind you that you are now ready to enter a metamorphosis. Rage and healing. Meet your highest self. Wow. So that's basically just sums it all up. You a star, baby. You a star. The Taurus new moon that we're in right now is the perfect time to plant these seeds. This is a time to plant the seeds of anything that you want to nurture for a long time, like what you want to see grow, you know, because there are certain seeds you plant and they only grow one time. You have to plant them again the next year, but there's other seeds, you plant them and they will come back every year. And no matter how harsh the winter is, the seeds are coming back. So this is a time for you to plant those steady, stable, consistency under your feet, something that you can get grounded, something that you can build your empire on top of. You need stable, firm foundation. You need like all the boards of the floorboards to be the same length and the same width. You need everything just right. So take your time. And you have like a 3-month period. Basically, the next 3 months are giving you the opportunity to like plant these seeds now and then nurture them. And you will see fruition within those 3 months. But you need to be patient for those 3 months to see how it plays out. Can you do that? Can you be patient? Only time will tell, you know. Can you live on Earth and connect to a human experience without the influence of your human trauma? Can you release it in a big way, bigger than you've ever done before, and keep moving and move forward more and more? Whew. Like starting here. Can you start here or even before here, earlier? You know? You a star, you a star. Can do it. 3 months. So now is the May new moon. So then we have the June new moon, July new moon, and the August new moon. That will be 3 lunar months. So set your intention right now for what you want to see in fruition in 3 months from now, and make it like a game. Like you never know you don't know how you're gonna get there. Don't stress yourself about how you spend every day for the next 3 months. Make 3 intentions. Make 3 promises to yourself. Like look at yourself and just promise yourself. You know, I know for me what I feel shy to say it. Oh my gosh. So you have to decide for yourself, is your intentions private or public? Sometimes I like sharing my intentions because I like other people having energy behind them too. But then sometimes I don't know, they just feel like, you know, I want to protect them. Like they feel vulnerable. So I know my intentions definitely have to do with stable housing stability, and like having like somewhere where I feel really, really comfortable, because I've been going from place to place. Like I have this whole history of housing instability, and it starts before me. It starts with the previous generation of Palestinians who were refugees. My grandparents' generation were refugees. They had to flee from where they came from. And then on my other side, my grandparents' generation, they were migrant farmers. They had to leave. They were in the United States, but they had to leave from where they lived and go somewhere else, and then experience the Great Depression. So this is already like in my lineage. It's a DNA level wound that I have to heal. And it's what I've been working with. And so this is something that I plan to manifest in the next 3 months. And when you plan something, you got to plan it beyond a shadow of a doubt. Like don't let anything get in between what you want and what you're striving for. Like word up. Do not take no for an answer. Do not take no for an answer. If you have within a shadow of a doubt, you're not going to get it. I don't know what could happen in 3 months. All I know is I have been a nomad for so long. What could, bring it on. Like, bring it on. I'm ready to see what's going to happen between here and there. Because I can see myself 3 months from now just like hold up in my comfort zone. And even here where I've been staying, you know, like I still have had privacy and space to myself, even though it's not 100% comfortable. I mean, it hasn't been everything that I thought it would be, but I'm like, I feel like, okay, you know, sometimes you can go from 0 to 60, but sometimes you need to go from 0 to 10 to 10 to 20. You know, you need to take those steps, and it happens like that, and it's okay. It's okay. Just remember, you're you. You can take the girl out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the girl. And same for the hood. Like, it don't matter where you're from. They can take you out of where you were grown, where you were planted and grown, but they can never take that seed from inside your heart. So I'm just talking my shit. I feel very inspired by this reading. I think I will post it on YouTube for more people to see it, and so that I can just get comfortable doing these readings, because it's been a while since I've been doing YouTube videos. But if you know my old series, the 40 Days and 40 Nights Spiritual Detox Challenge, that was like my first YouTube video series that I did, and I'm doing the same thing now. I'm doing 40 Days and 40 Nights Spiritual Detox. I like doing it for 40 days and emphasizing that it's not just days, but it's nights also. There's two sides to everything that we do, and I always want to acknowledge that. So the span of time of 40 days, it gives you long enough to like go through whatever you need to go through, and you go through multiple different like moon phases, you know, so you get to feel into yourself and see to yourself. Yay. So I just want everybody to be inspired. This is a really good night to get your hustle on. Set those intentions for yourself. Make those money moves. You know, you got it. You got it. If you got it, flaunt it. Like, you got the juice. You got to know that you're juicy, and you're juicy inside. It just feels good to flow in that. Like, you have a superpower. It's very special to be able to make that water and to make that motion inside of yourself. So that's why they call it making it rain. That's why strippers make so much money, because you make that motion of the ocean move inside of you, and you pull that sexual energy, that kundalini energy up, and you just let it hydrate every single aspect of your being. Like, that is when you are in goddess energy. That is when you are in flow. And your most important job right now is loving yourself and taking good care of yourself. So you gotta know that. You gotta know that. You gotta know that. And that's pretty much all I wanted to share with you guys. But I wanted to tell you that it is the beginning of Ramadan. Today is the first day. So I started my 40 days and 40 nights holistic healing for hoes, heaven on earth. I started it, last week, a few days ago, whenever that was. But it was designed and planned to encompass the whole month of Ramadan. So if you have not been listening to my podcast, or if you have not been taking time out for yourself, and you haven't been putting that self-care effort in, you haven't been, taking time to be one with yourself, I encourage you to start now. If you're watching this now, take it as a sign. Boom. Take the next step now. Take the next step now. Take it as a sign. Get started with some spiritual integration. At this time, it is very auspicious because it's the Taurus new moon. Anything that you do on the spiritual plane is going to be translated into the material plane as well. So this is where you'll turn spirit into matter. Manifestation will become matter in person. Like, your visual manifestations and spirit manifestations will be manifested in the flesh. So it's a good time to focus on everything that you want and all the experiences that you do want to have, and feel into that energy of it and the sensuality of it, how it makes you feel on the inside. It's time for me to pray. It's time for me to break my fast. The sun has gone down. So I thank you all for joining me for this reading and being here. And thank my crystal friends for being here too. You can see them. So take some time for yourself. Be still, meditate, take a bath, love yourself. Love you. I love you lots. If you're watching this, I'm sending you lots of good energy, healing love. And I hope you have a beautiful, blessed, and prosperous healing night. Bye.